zoning ordinance, listed under large facility solar system ordinance. We were given some materials last time, and Connie, you don't have anything. So.
You wanna give those, go, it's unfair for her to discuss
Right.
without her seeing both
Right.
of those items.
Right.
Well, after doing some research, in the email, I went through the ordinance,
Which one?
the burning ordinance,
Okay,
and the DEP model side by side. And there was an email that was written to my predecessor,
thank you.
and it looks to me that they need, to put into the ordinance needs to be, to define the Monongahela Valley Air Basin, and which municipality it encompasses. That is not in the orders. I think that's what they need to do.
Okay, so we can make it, for the next meeting. So Connie can have a good discussion as to, she already has a copy of the ordinance, whatever, but put the Monongahela Basin down. Have we received any comments, any complaints from the DEP regarding the ordinance?
I'm reading off of an email that was sent to my predecessor, Jared.
How long ago was that?
Oh,
2022.
June of 2022.
And that's what, when I was, excuse me, comparing them, that's what I thought too. They just wanted us to acknowledge we're in that air basin.
The air basin and
Can you
what township it is.
Can you send that
I
email
sure
to me?
will. I'll send it.
What I'll do for next, I'll modify the ordinance to include that, okay? Also, I sent over a solar field ordinance. I think I made it, rather than have it, just an ordinance, I made it a zoning issue. I think, Mr. Sadi, I've sent you have a copy of it also?
Yeah,
Did you read it?
yeah,
And your comments?
I don't remember. It was long ago.
Alright, so it's rather thing, maybe, like I said, have a intelligent discussion with Connie. If,
We'll get, you know what, I'll stop aside it.
I'll have, I have Connie, give me your.
I have one right here.
Copy.
Okay.
Copy.
Yeah, but I think she needs to look at it before she,
Well,
that's my comment.
you wanna copy it? Copy that for her?
Or I can even email it to
Do
her.
Well, she can have this copy, I have another copy.
You can, okay, okay.
And again, what I wanted to do is rather, the first concept was just to have some of solar fields or whatever you call these things. I thought the better way to handle it was to make it part of the zoning, ordinance that we have. So I try to, and again, it's just a draft, but I can tell you, in Greene County, I'm starting to see solar fields come in. They have a huge solar field just south of Greene County, it's on the river. So these things are becoming more and more pronounced.
I have one going in Smith Township.
Well, I have one going on
40,000
Greene.
panels,
What's that?
40,000 panels.
Oh, Homrich enlarging his. Is that Homrich putting it in? Homrich.
In this
Sweats
township,
buddy.
we have old industrial space, which is prime at some point in time for redevelopment, which is an opportunity that investors are looking at as similar to me.
Well, the one I saw, the one I just saw the other day, it's just south of the Greene County line, was huge. Right now, in Greene Township, which is Greene County, they're putting together a solar field, and they're negotiating with different electric companies or whatever to access the line.
Can we do this? And I have,
You haven't read it either?
I read it, and I did have a concern.
well, can this be put into only industrial zoning area?
Anywhere you wanna put,
No, I mean, we can limit it to where it will go,
yes,
Okay.
the township can.
the township.
Now, does what you guys have concern compressor stations also with the solar fields?
Compressor station?
Because they're connected. Oh, they're connected.
Why would a compressor station be connected to a solar?
I'll send you the information.
I never heard of that before, but.
Oh, I'll send it to you.
I just was worried because, of course, the sound limit
Mhm.
is 55, you know. I live across from the compressor station with the continuous noise,
Okay,
and 55 is way too much. You'd be surprised at night how, I mean, FERC limit for continuous running is 46.8. That should be, 55 decibels at night. If you have your window open, because I had a sound engineer, when that sound comes in my bedroom window and it bounces off my walls, it's making it louder than 55 decibels in my bedroom. So, to me, I know what I've been through, and I'm looking to protect the next person
so
coming down the
you'll
road.
get down to 45,
Oh, yeah, I'd go lower if I could, but I think 46.8 is the FERC limit for continuous noise for a compressor station. Wait, I mean. but
Sweat
yeah.
changed that. Sweat changed that. We made Babs Callan magazine over that deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, I sent them that it said for my conditional use for the compressor station that I never did get an answer to my email.
Oh, from them? No.
Because I said it says FERC limits. I said FERC limit for continuous noise is 46.8 for a compressor station, and I sent them the regulation right from FERC, and I never received any
Did
answer.
they change
No.
that? Because it was already ordinance.
Oh, Sweat changed it.
They changed it.
They started immediately once they got in. It's in the
well,
invoices.
what I did here is, it's a conditional use.
Wait, we went
Well,
through
Oh, he changed it all. He changed everything you did.
But it's not,
It's in his invoices. I'm serious.
Zoning district.
No,
It's disgusting.
We sat here,
I think
you
RD
probably here,
Rural
we
development.
had,
I think that compressor
we had
station went up
cricket
RD.
levels at different times of the year,
So,
and everything was supposed to be
I
in
mean,
compliance.
okay,
He
It's
changed it
different,
all.
Like if they're in the middle of 100 acres and there's no houses around, who are they gonna bother? But if they're, like, if the setbacks, I saw something where it was 225 feet from, a residence or something. Well, that's
200 feet?
nothing.
My house is almost further off the road than that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a draft, we can always, it just gives you some ideas, I mean.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was only one or two houses that were anywhere close to that compressor station. Over there up at the Delaware Road.
What about Aber?
Aber. I live on Aber.
Aber.
Well, is that where the 4 lines go through and you go up to Stone Church?
Mhm.
Is Aber in the valley?
Here's my house, compressor station.
Okay.
We're at the same level. So that sound decibel comes right.
When did a compressor station go in?
2016, that was, yeah, 2016 was the hearing, I believe. Yeah, and it was 2018, it was commissioned.
Because what I did, we did a compressor station when I was here.
That was the one.
That was
That's
it. This is it.
They changed it though.
They researched it
Yeah, but they
as soon as they got here and they doubled the size.
Because what I did, when I did that thing, I did a lot of research about what to do to muffle the sounds and everything
Yeah.
else. Because I put all that stuff, there's, everything in there, they're supposed to have like certain devices to muffle the sound.
They added this, they added that.
Are they being maintained?
There was
They said they added
How
it.
many years ago was that done? Are they being maintained?
They doubled it in 21.
I'm just saying, if they don't
So
maintain.
They weren't supposed to.
doubled it in 2021?
Your conditional use says they were supposed to have a conditional use.
So I put as part of that, the ever enlarge or change it, they were to come back to the township to get a conditional use.
They did not, and they doubled it.
By that time, we were all off the board.
And there's
I know you
How did
did.
they get around that?
I know you did. They just did it.
I complained at meetings.
We did. I did
complained at
too.
Meetings, and, they went up there. Oh, they found that they built a building up there that they
With
had
no-
permit
with no-
for.
Nothing.
But again,
And
so they were
but that-
supposed, but when I did that, again, I put in that conditional use,
They had to
That
come
they had
back
to
for
change their
another-
mark, they had to come back. So how did they get around that?
They just did it.
They just did it. They do whatever they want up there, Dennis, because nobody can
Be-
see what they're doing over there over on that hill. Nobody can see what
I
they're
know,
doing.
Dennis.
And unless
I
I'm
know
making
you
a
did your
mistake.
part and the planning commission did it.
Yes.
And, he passed away. He went down to, Greene County. And they
Jasper.
had a similar, facility down there. And came back with, to the township here.
Who was that?
Paul Chasko.
Who?
Paul
Chasko.
Chasko.
Yeah, Paul, yeah.
But like I said, it just, it was a shame, cause that whole thing, I did everything possible to minimize the noise.
Same with
Well,
oil and gas stuff.
In
All
your,
the work we did, they.
in our findings of facts, conclusions of law, you said, it would just to go by FERC regulations for the noise. But it didn't say 55, it just said FERC. Well, I emailed them and I said, you know, FERC regulations with their sound engineer, Rock Engineering. That's how I found all that out, because we were gonna hire him as property owners. And I said, you know, FERC is 46.8. And I said, my findings of fact conclusions of law just say FERC limits.
That's what she
You
told me
know,
about.
I never received an answer from them. Never received an answer.
But
They
I,
did look into it for you then.
but
Oh, did they?
I know him
Oh.
professionally.
Oh, but they
Huh?
never
I know
answered me.
Steve Roth professionally.
But the thing about it is that I did a lot of research into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and but Dennis, once you were going,
That was it.
that was pro. You know what I mean? There was nobody gonna fight for.
They started researching the ordinances in this township at the end of 2016. They were researching the Macintosh. It's in his invoices. In 17, they were researching the grading ordinance, the noise ordinance. I forget
Oil
what
and
other one.
gas.
Well, yeah, yeah, they changed that later. They changed the other
They
ones
changed
before
the
that.
oil gas to not even be 55, but 60. It's just like, I mean, that would just, I mean, if I could turn my sound meter on my phone, and that would just probably be the level we're talking right now could be 55 decibels. But imagine hearing that constantly. Somebody never shut.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like I said, I apologize.
it's
No,
not.
I'm
It's not your
blaming
fault.
you.
I put a lot of heart and soul to that.
We could tell you did. We poured over those. I did after her, but yeah, I got them from her. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
I got the whole transcript.
So do I.
Yeah, I don't know how I got, I got that.
Yeah, I know how you got it.
Luckily,
Wasn't it
somebody here made a
also
mistake. and I
A
got it.
dryer station.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, that's the way it was presented. And- Because for years it was a compressor there.
There was, and you know what, we really never had any problems. You gotta figure, none of this really came about until fracking came about. That Hartman compressor station, which is a FERC regulated compressor station, you might have heard it here and there, but you never heard it. But once fracking came in, and it's these gathering stations, and gathering stations they're not under Title V. They are by, the DEP regulates them, these gathering stations. And it's a whole different ballgame.
But then and I remember now that there's two types of compressors. There's the one that hammers and there's ones like a jet engine that spirals.
Well, these
and
are
you
natural,
don't-
yeah.
And you don't get the same noise.
Yeah, well, and what we did find out is that it was installed with 4 natural gas compressors. And if you look, yeah, it is small, but they added 2 electric. And see, they never came back.
Oh, my.
If you look on the DEP website, you'll be like, what are these extra? 2 electric ones. Where the hell did they go in? I don't know.
That guy diagnosed it for me and made it out to be.
And
We
they
didn't.
should have came back, because then it didn't have any change, any change they were gonna make
come back?
had to come
And
back.
They have
not
an
only is it not
emergency
fair to the
operation
residents
plan.
because we're getting screwed over,
Yeah.
it's not fair to the residents in the sense that there would be money involved that we've lost.
See, my perspective was to protect the township and to protect the residents. That's the reason I put that language in there.
The soil and erosion has been violated since the day that thing started. We pay attention
And
to
again,
it.
the compressor stations, back then.
Oh no, the water. It's the water coming off. What? It all goes across the road in the little ditch.
Isn't there a flooding problem over here now?
It has gotten better, and I think it's because, well, remember I bitched and said from that first ESG permit they did, when they submitted their first plan. Remember I saw that culvert that they had?
Oh,
in?
yeah.
I said, well, this was on the original drawing.
Oh yeah.
Because I told Sean, I said, what the hell's this?
And then
He
they
said,
put on a
"What's
big
this?"
show. They put on a big
Yeah,
show after the
and I
fact.
said, well, that wasn't there. That's when they went up.
Yeah.
That's when they went up. But to stop some of the water flow down, they had to not cut the grass. Because they were cutting all the grass, and then the water, when it would rain, would just flow down and flood the creek. Well, if they let the grass grow high, that
That should have been taken care of
That's
in the
not-
grading.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Uh-huh.
that's just, yeah, no.
Hey, you got to
Oh,
remember,
my
Harold.
God, the
You got to
things-
remember, Harshman bought a plane.
Like I said,
So that's why I'm just, when it comes to this, you know what, I wanna protect.
well, maybe we
Gotta
should, maybe you made a good point. Maybe we should limit to industrial areas,
Mhm.
something like that. Again, I just put stuff in there that,
Well, there is noise with even the solar,
Oh yeah.
is it?
the
Uh-huh.
panels, they make noise.
Can we add enforcement provisions?
Sure. I mean, what I did is I made it, it'll be a conditional use. The
And we
reason I
can
put,
do conditional uses in certain sections only, right?
it'll be a conditional use, I put
You put
a whole
everywhere.
bunch, cause I thought, well, it's industrial, whatever. But whatever you guys wanna do, we can just make a conditional use and be not be permitted in any other districts. But, and again, with conditional use, I can sit there and but the township can put together all these conditions to keep it, and I think, if I'm correct, didn't I also put a provision in the conditional use that the township retains jurisdiction if they fail to comply with the conditional use?
Yeah, you did.
Mhm.
Because I always put that in there in case it retained jurisdiction.
Yeah, you did. The township didn't care. They didn't care. After everybody got kicked out.
Yes, we've said.
Yeah. Still waiting for the trees that were supposed to be planted to block.
Weren't they
the
supposed to plant trees there?
They did, but you know what, I'll be dead by the time they grow tall enough to.
Alright, so you guys, okay, TJ, did you look it over, by the way?
Yeah, briefly.
Any major things stick out there that bothers you at all, or?
Dennis, did you look at that paper Michelle gave you?
I get so many papers from the.
She
town.
just gave it to you, the last one.
Oh, this one
It'll
right
be
here.
on top.
This is from Sean Odell to Heather Dare, Chucky Trax, Richard Lawson, Michelle Dupree, David Eskin, I'll mention.
That's that. I thought it was something else.
David Eskin, Gary Sweat, Michael Crooney, Sarah Scott, Secretary Terry Glass, JH, who's JH?
Jamie Harshman.
Harshman Union Township, and Brandy or something. The
It's
following
code.
discussion that occurred during public comment at the last Board of Supervisors meeting, this email is dated May 17, 2022. While pulling documents together in order to have a productive conversation with Ms. Darla Savko concerning the stormwater compressor station, I looked into the building permits that were submitted to the township for the structures for the site. I found that we do not have any record for a building permit for one of their newer buildings.
Yeah, we got,
They just built it.
Submitted under their ESCGP revision. On their ESCGP permit, the building's listed as an operations building as well as a maintenance building for the operation facility. I requested more information from Equitrans concerning the building's functions and use. Upon obtaining the information, I'll run it past the solicitor's office to see if it warrants a conditional use hearing or if it's permitted as is.
After the fact.
Once that question is resolved, they will need to submit, obtain building permit, application for the structure.
All they did was
The end.
make them get a building permit, that's it.
The end.
But
Did they make
again,
them get a building permit?
I.
Did
I
they?
believe they did. I believe they did. But maybe that's what they said. I don't.
I bet you that's what they said.
Well, it is what it is.
Well, it's done.
Fine them for all these years and make them get one?
I'd have to take a look at it. By the way, I have all my files, I kept all my files I still have in the office.
I mean,
So do I, unfortunately.
Why?
No.
I keep everything. It's all-
So do we.
Well, yeah.
We got clients at our office from 40 years ago. I mean, if they call us up and they need something, they'll.
you just never know. I mean,
Well, that's
in this
kind of
kind
anything,
of,
I mean, like the same with education,
yeah.
they've got files that go back years and years.
Even
of all
on
the
that,
students. They have to. By law.
yeah, you put, there were restrictions on, or baffles as such, to limit,
Stop it.
the sound from all parties in the drawings. I remember that.
Like I said, my thing was to protect the township and to protect the
Right.
residents of the township. Because I knew about the compressor station and noise. And I put so much stuff in there that it was, you know,
And then they got rid of you and did what the heck they wanted.
Which is also why they got rid of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you.
all right, so look at the solar field, and TJ, if you go, again, I just, maybe we'll just limit it to certain areas. I put anything, I didn't wanna go to residential areas.
You do have residential.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but, no, you can put small ones, you can put a small thing.
Yeah,
Well,
this,
yeah, if some people have just like a couple panels in their
Yeah, you can put
yard.
them on your wall.
Yeah,
But I'm told,
Yeah,
they generate a lot of heat, they can melt the siding off of somebody's house.
yeah.
But that's up to them, they should know. But I did, if you wanna have your own, like, nowadays people have their house and they put them on the roof of the house.
But can we put that under a different type of an ordinance? Because, I mean, let's,
Well, I put everything in there,
you
just,
know.
That's different than a solar farm.
we Put it under,
Within a farm.
It's different.
Low density single
There's a lot of
residential, and then all of a sudden that little
well, if
thing
you look,
becomes a big thing.
well, if
it's,
you look,
it's two different sections in here. Section 3 deals with principal uses, which is larger scale operations, and section 4 deals with, Dennis is calling it, permitted accessory uses, which would be smaller scale
that's the case
residential.
for your house or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Because nowadays people wanna put it on their roof of the house.
Not
It's
me.
all the same green tag, by the way. Not roof.
Just make sure your roof can handle,
What's that?
just make sure the roof can handle it before you
Yep.
call it a
Yep.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, do they have to get a
You
permit
gotta
for
make
that?
sure the
Yes.
roof.
Yeah.
And that you have to check to make sure it's do they have to have a structural engineer?
have to have a structural.
I saw,
Yep.
I saw an article today
Okay,
There's electrical inspections.
trying to put these over the rivers, the creeks, to
okay,
protect the water.
that's what I thought,
Better see if your homeowners will cover it.
okay.
Because
Oh,
it's
my
There's
actually,
an
That's a
article,
bad
I saw in
subject.
the article where the federal government
If you can
is
get it.
pushing
So I said,
certain areas to put these solar farms over top of a creek, or creek, if you're saying green thumb, over top of the creek.
we say crick.
What's that?
We say crick.
Yeah, he said correct.
But
Creek,
they put them so you, I guess out in the west, so that's a big thing also. All right, so look it over, again, it's two different, and you're right. We have solar fields, but if you wanna have, we also have regulations about having on the roof of your building. And I expected Mr. Sauter to have more about this since he's an engineer.
My suggestions would be, let's consider lighting. We're dealing with that in other places too, you know, outdoor lighting. You know, we should have language in here that talks about turning the lighting down and facing inward, sound, that kind of enforcement stuff.
So we do that, yeah, we should, and I do that with developments also.
We're dealing with it in a couple other townships where it's
Solar,
every meeting if people are talking about outdoor
just with
lighting.
solar panels or
Not
solar?
necessarily just this, but other uses as well.
Okay? All right, so if you have any questions, be prepared for next meeting. Connie, you'll be the person we're gonna ask questions first.
You know, plus on the
Sure.
electric house.
No, okay, going back to tracks,
Yeah.
you're talking about lot 4?